All right, A Ghost in the Tennis Court by Migrant Worker. And Peter, I have to say, this is one of my favorites on the album. I love the harmonies. The harmonies just like really did it for me. And that just kind of really, it's one of those ones that just, I can really get into. And like it's nice when there's like really good harmonies like that. So
Yeah, it's definitely one of our favorites.
now you're also saying during the break that a friend of yours was playing the violin in this one?
Yeah, that outro section. My friend James, I said to him, he just kind of agreed off the cuff that he'd come and play some violin for me. So it's completely unrehearsed, and I just said, right, okay, think the Velvet Underground, and that sort of cacophonous noise that you can hear at the end is just him going all up and down the neck of the violin, trying to make as much noise as possible. Then like through all these layers of delay, which creates this really huge kind of oppressive noise, which I like a lot.
Oh man, it sounds really good. And just before we move on here, I have a fan listening. Her name's Alma, and she's in Mexico, and she's been a very faithful listener for a while. And she wanted to tell you, if you didn't see that tweet, that she really likes A Ghost on the Tennis Court.
Well, thank you very much.
So big shout out to Alma out there in Mexico. And we're going to get to actually another song here again in a few minutes, and just because we talked a little bit about it. Now, you said you was it Layered Unshaken Creep you put the cello in?
I know, it's Giant Act of Conformity.
Giant Act of Conformity, okay. But let's tell us a little bit about that.
It's a lot of what we do, when it's just Gary and I working, we're quite measured and we spend a lot of time working on things, but I have the benefit of a few friends who also play instruments, and we just had this opportunity. I was recording the drums for this track at my friend in Liverpool, and he plays in a band called CD Player, who I really recommend checking out, who have a cello player in the band. And he just rang him and just said, "Are you free? Do you want to come and play some cello?" And as I said before, I've never recorded a cello before, ever. And we went over to this guy's house, just set up in his room. I mean, again, talking about music technology before, it's just wonderful, the fact that you can have a laptop, an audio interface, and a microphone, and you can record anywhere. It's absolutely fantastic. So we went up to this guy's house, and I kind of explained the chords to him.
Okay.
And we just went and recorded like 4 completely ad-lib takes of cello, which then I went and cut up into the parts that you hear on the record. But I think we spent at most an hour recording all of that, and I think it sounds awesome.
Oh, it does sound amazing. Now, did you guys do that for every song? Like, did you introduce like different instruments here and there? And kind of what made you think, this could go well in here, or this instrument could go well in here?
I mean, sometimes I think it's just trying it. We had the opportunity because we knew a cello player, and we just tried it. At the time, I had no idea whether it would work or not, but we just gave it a go, and it sounds brilliant. But sometimes it doesn't work, so there are examples of things we tried which never worked. There's some violin in a track that never turned up. There's all kinds of vocals. There's even me singing on some tracks, which is not a pretty sight. Even with the benefit of auto-tune, I'm not a natural singer.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're a great musician, so you can't do everything, but the music's great. So there's nothing to knock there, Peter. You're a good musician, so.
Yeah, I still would like to be able to sing, but I guess it's just not going to happen now.
Oh no, who knows? Maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe.
But my next question to you would be about social media. Like, how has that helped you guys? Like, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, the whole deal.
Well, we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't for Twitter. I mean, basically, we probably wouldn't have met. And that's just what's wonderful. It goes back to what I said before. You don't really need a record label. I mean, because the chances are that you're probably not going to make a really particularly good living out of making music. But it is a hobby, and it's a hobby that we can all be committed to. I've been playing guitar since I was 11 years old, and I don't see myself ever stopping. But the wonderful thing about social media is that you can go find an audience. You might not sell 50,000 records, but you will find some people who like what you do. and everybody, it's a level playing field that we all have a chance at, and that's a really fantastic thing. And again, with the technology you have, everybody has a recording studio more or less at their fingertips. Granted, some people are richer than others, but even the entry level stuff is absolutely fantastic these days. So we all have the ability to make music and find an audience, and that's only because of social media technology. It's a fantastic thing.
Absolutely right. And my last question to you, even though the album's been out for about a year or so, do you guys have any new songs in the works or any plans for another?
Officially, the album's been out for 3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Okay. I just working on. Sorry, my apologies. I guess I said you were working on it for a year, so I made that mistake there. My apologies.
Sorry. Yeah, we have already started on a third record, which is going to take probably a slightly more rocky direction than the previous one. In about 2 weeks, I'm going up to Gary's. We're going to spend 4 days together. We've got maybe 15 demos that we've both worked on, and we're going to start turning them into songs, and they're sounding awesome. They're sounding really good. He's come up with some amazing stuff, better than I have, actually. I think this is going to be his record.
Well, either way, man, I'm really looking forward to it, and I love this newest album. Like I said, there's a lot of good tunes on there. Makes it hard to pick a few out. But Peter, I want to thank you for taking the time today to do this, man. I really do appreciate it.
Same here. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview me.
Definitely my pleasure. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll be doing this again soon once the new album comes out. I know it's going to be a little bit, but we'll definitely...
Actually, the first record took us 3 years to make. The second record took us 18 months. So if we're going to continue that path, we actually have to have it released by May.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Well, either way, regardless of that, we'll definitely be talking again in a while to see what's going on. And from until then, we'll keep on putting your tunes up because they're great, man. I love it. And I can't wait to hear more.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Definitely all my pleasure, Peter. So we'll definitely keep in touch. And thanks for taking the time and being on the show.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, Peter. All right, bye-bye. All right, guys. That was Peter from Migrant Worker, and very interesting band, especially since it's all a studio project, and it sounds really good. And I've always enjoyed that type of way of going because not all stuff that hits live is always good. That's why some studio projects that stay that way can be decent or turn into something very cool. You never know which way it's going to go. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for listening. I very much do appreciate it. Like always, until next time, Bones out.